Hi, this is Caleb Speakman, and this is for my business speech class for John Wright. And today I'll be discussing, are cell phones good or bad? On March 10th, 1876, Alexander Graham Bell successfully made the first telephone call in human history. Mobile phones were later invented as early as the 1940s, when engineers working at AT&T developed cells for mobile phones, base stations, and these early mobile phones are often referred to as OG mobile phones or zero-generation mobile phones. Most phones today rely on 3G or 4G mobile technology. Some would argue that cell phones distance us from our daily lives, but clearly phones have multiple great features like instant access to information, easy contact with others, and apps. I'm actually using my cell phone right now to record this speech because cell phones are just way easier to use, for me personally, than a computer. Cell phones added Safari, or the internet, as an app that you could use in 2007, making it easier to have instant answers for any question you may have. In 2020, Safari has improved and there are multiple answers for any question with even research or steps to prove the answer is correct. Some might argue that due to having answers instantly, that your brain won't retain any of the information. But even so, all it takes is another good search and you'll have another answer again, and maybe you'll find more interesting content or more credibility from a site. The internet allows access to medical information and medical treatment/care. Healthcare services can now be delivered by virtual healthcare providers located anywhere in the world to consumers who have never had to leave home. The internet is becoming much more than just a communications medium. That is from Bissell in 2002, and that's just 2002. The internet has gotten so much better since then. Along with instant medical needs, there is also instant contact with friends or family, which is a plus for COVID-19 if you want to see your family but you can't. Thanks to cell phones, it is now easier to contact a friend or relative. You can call or text anyone as long as you're in service. This is very handy in bad situations when you need to call 911, helping everyone with a phone stay safe. Mobile cell phones today have contact information like numbers, voicemails, and include an optional photo for a new contact. So it's not as complicated to find the person that you're searching for in your contacts list. Most people now carry their cell phone with them all day to check messages, and half of the population already has a phone. When you consider that cell phone customers represent a subscriber market of 3.3 billion, it's a staggering number, approximately half of Earth's population. And that was from IEEE in 2009. And if it was only half of the population in 2009, it has gone way up since then. Knowing that most people own a cell phone, one can conclude that it would be better to stay up to date with the new methods of communication. Some would argue that text messages can be misread and that face-to-face is better. Although I agree, personally, that face-to-face is better, currently in 2020, COVID-19 social distancing has separated everyone, and long-distance calls have become a necessity. Mobile phones now also come with apps with helpful things such as a calculator if you need to do some quick math, a health app that has a medical ID so emergency services can see if you have any health concerns. That's awesome. So if, let's say that you passed out on the street, they could just grab your mobile phone and check your medical ID and see if you have diabetes or any health conditions that may have caused you to pass out at all, which I think is just amazing. The app also tracks the amount of steps that you take to help with any exercise. An alarm clock, one can set reminders and times to wake up when you'd like, which is really awesome for work or waking up for your classes. In the App Store, you can download a social media app such as Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook to keep in touch with friends or family, and post whatever you'd like to express yourself. Some argue that constant messaging and mobile phones or mobile games distance us from work and conversation, but it's actually made it easier to communicate and keep in touch. Although they may be distracting in the classroom, functions such as the internet access and email compatibility have transformed them into sophisticated communication tools. That is from Keenan and Azawa in 2009. Mobile games are for entertainment and may be distracting, but also an outlet for stress and creativity. Cell phones are good and are new helpful tools for medical needs, communication, information, stress relief. Cell phones provide instant access to information, easy contact with others, and apps to learn, communicate, and entertain oneself. Cell phones are constantly updating, and receiving new models, giving everyone who owns a cell phone access to the newest political information, which is very current right now, newest trends in clothing and furniture, and faster internet. Thank you so much for listening. I think cell phones are amazing.